kind of like the idea that no one really can do anything. I particularly like the 2 weeks that nothing happened. I didn't need to worry about a government stuffing up at doing what it's meant to do. That was nice. I was satisfied the way it turned out because no one won, and that's I don't like many of them.
So everyone's always quick to criticise Julia Gillard and her moving forward, but personally I'm not really a Liberal Party fan.
Yeah, I voted. Didn't want to vote, but I had to. The way I see it, the Greens should have won. Totally should have won.
It was the first time I voted. It was different.
I'm not old enough to vote, but
Had I had the opportunity to vote, I'm pretty sure that I would have had no idea who I would cast my vote to.
Yes, I did vote this year, by the way. I am 18, I'm a consenting adult, and I voted.
Sex party!
During the hung parliament stage where there was this big debate about, let's go back to the polls, let's not go back to the polls, I personally sided with the idea that we should just let the government work itself out.
I mean, while there were very good jokes about having having parliaments that were hanging, the overall process was far more excruciating than it should have had to been. And people were probably more looking towards just having another election, calling another election, as opposed to just coming up with some final decision. Because I think most people who I did discuss voting with and who did vote this election were talking about how the only reason that they may have voted for a party or a coalition would have been because it was the lesser of two evils.
On the subject of donkey voting, I think in order to help people not screwing, in order to lessen the number of people that screw up the voting system by donkey voting, I don't think voting should be a compulsory thing in Australia. This is the one aspect where I will say I wish Australia was a little more like America.
I think the main problem with Julia Gillard's moving forward was the reason why she was repeating it wasn't so much that she was a bit silly or thought that saying moving forward would be better than saying other things. I think that the reason why she said it so much was because she had so little else to say.
It's moving Australia forward.
Let's move Australia forward.
Forward.
Moving forward, move forward together. Move Australia forward.
So Liberal were in power for quite a few years. What is it, since 75?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Fuck knows.
So it's good, that Labor stay in power. Don't really mind. What's her name? I forgot.
I went to an election party. I didn't realise that was just sitting around watching the election. So that was a little, yeah.
Found the commentary a bit biased, especially in the newspapers, which is mostly Fairfax though.
I was also highly disappointed to discover that Stephen Conroy is still in Parliament. He is one of my least favourite politicians ever, next to Stalin.
I would have preferred to have someone besides Kash Griggs. I did not vote for her.
Still preferred Gillard over Abbott.
Authorised by Grind Online, spoken by Alexa, Angus, Tony, Olive, Chantel, Lang, Gemma and CJ. Views expressed in this podcast do not in any way represent the views or opinions of Darwin City Council or its employees.